Hey everyone, and welcome back to Time Travel in 2015 Summer at the Movies. I'm Lauren.
I'm Devon.
So, if you haven't been following along, which is okay, because there have been some duds of weeks, we are using the Entertainment Weekly 2015 Summer Movie Preview issue to kind of time travel and go back to one of those classic summer movie experiences. You know, we talked about a lot in the early episodes, like that was our favorite thing to do in the summer, was to look through that magazine issue and like make a calendar and a list of all the movies that we wanted to go see, and then just spend our summer at the movie theater. Especially because when we were younger, we were living in Vegas, and so it was so hot. And it was nice to be able to escape to an air-conditioned, you know, movie theater.
For a few hours, for sure. But yeah, we would plan out summers and honestly, sometimes even into the falls as the fall movie guides and stuff would come out. But yeah, so what do we got this week? Okay,
so we are in the third week of June, so June 19th when this episode is coming out. That's another cool thing we learned, is that the dates of 2015 perfectly line up with the dates of 2026.
Go figure, that was not part of the plan.
No, it really wasn't, but how fortuitous and cool. So yes, third weekend of June, we have quite a few movies to get through, 7. So we're gonna try to be as fast as we can. We've got 3.5 Minutes, 10 Bullets, which is a documentary film, Dope, The Face of an Angel, Infinitely Polar Bear, Inside Out, Manglehorn, and The Overnight.
Good lord.
I know, it's a lot. This was a crazy week. It's 7 movies. It took us quite a while to get through all of these films, to watch them all.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and start with 3.5 Minutes, 10 Bullets. Can you see?
Yeah, so it was released, like we said, on June 19th. It released prior to that at the Sundance Film Festival.
Of 2015.
Of 2015. Yeah, and it's a documentary, so there's not really any actors in it, but yeah, you want to talk about the summary?
So it is a 99-cent rental on Amazon if you want to watch along.
Which is nuts because it's an HBO documentary. It should be, it should be on Max.
It really should be. Oh, streaming. And it was shortlisted for the Academy Awards that year. It wasn't actually fully nominated, and it wasn't, you know, a winner, but it was shortlisted, which is also still a really cool acknowledgement. Yeah, really cool. And I think it won some awards at the Sundance Film Festival. Okay, so here's your summary. So again, this is a documentary. So Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving in November of 2012, 4 boys in a red SUV pull into a gas station after spending time at the mall, buying sneakers, and talking to girls. With music blaring, one boy exits the car and enters the store. A quick stop for a soda and a pack of gum. A man and a woman pull up next to the boys in the station, making a stop for a bottle of wine. The woman enters the store and an argument breaks out when the driver of the second car asks the boys to turn the music down. 3.5 minutes and 10 bullets later, one of the boys is dead. 3.5 minutes, the documentary, dissects the aftermath of this fatal encounter.
It's an incredibly long summary.
Yeah, I know. It's one of the longer ones. So all of our summaries come from Letterboxed. It's also where we post our like official scores and reviews. I'll leave our usernames listed in the description box below if you want to follow along. I'll also like pop them up on the screen if you want to like pause and kind of see the full reviews. Yeah, it's hard to like rate a documentary, obviously, and it's hard. This one so clearly deals with like racism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This takes place in Florida, so it's, you know, racism in the South, which is a pretty intense topic. I thought it was a really well done documentary. This documentary was made like during the time of like the trial and the aftermath and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was very close to it.
So I thought that was interesting. So it included a lot of like some of the courtroom proceedings, as well as talking to like family and friends. And then you have like, you know, the like jailhouse calls and stuff like that of the man, you know, while he's awaiting for his trial and stuff like that. So it included a lot of like the real world, you know, stuff
Yeah, and it did a thing that I appreciate in a lot of really well done documentaries, where there aren't like talking heads from the producers or like input from
experts or whatever,
experts and things, like people not really involved in it, you know, and it just left it to tell the narrative through the people that this horrible tragedy affected. And yeah, incredibly well done.
Yeah, it was a really well done documentary. Yeah, we've seen some not so great documentaries. I mean, just last week with the Wolf Pack, right? But this one was really well done. And what an absolute tragedy, obviously, that this young boy lost his life over something as silly as music. Yeah, it's definitely very sad.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's, you know, I feel like justice was definitely served in this regard, you know, but I think things like this highlight just how many times justice isn't served in these types of cases, and man,
totally
very tough topic. But
absolutely.
Very well done documentary. You should watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we always give our movies 2 different ratings. We give a summer rating and then a movie rating. This one we feel a little weird giving ratings to.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
We didn't rate it on Letterboxd.
I did on Letterboxd. But
I wasn't sure what to do.
Yeah.
You know, with that, and so like very much like your feelings. As far as a summer movie rating, I mean, I think it would absolutely draw in
some kind of crowd.
The type of crowd.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But I don't know.
I mean, we don't have to share ratings or anything like that. It is a touchy subject and all that, and it was just a really good documentary. I did give it a 4 on Letterboxd because I thought it was a really well done documentary.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's up there, you know.
Yeah, I'd probably put it about there as well.
Yeah,
they did a good job.
Cool. Yeah. All right, our second film is Dope. So this is same thing. It was at Sundance that same year.
That would have been a great Sundance. Holy cow. Yeah, so released 6/19. It's streaming on Prime. It stars Shameik Moore, Zoe Kravitz, A$AP Rocky, Kiersey Clemens, Tony Revolori. Amazing cast.
Yeah.
And so funny that like so many of these characters would go on to, or so many of these actors would go on to be in oddly enough, like Spider-Man projects.
I know, 2 of the main kids are in different Spider-Man projects. So yeah, if you don't know, Shameik Moore voices Miles Morales in the Into the Spider-Verse trilogy.
Soon to be trilogy.
Yeah, soon to be trilogy.
Next year though.
I know. So here's your summary. Did you say it's streaming on Prime?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's your summary. Malcolm is carefully surviving life in a tough neighborhood in LA while juggling college applications, academic interviews, and the SAT. A chance invitation to an underground party leads him into an adventure that could allow him to go from being a geek to being dope to ultimately being himself. So this, in my mind, is a lot like, I mean, it's a coming of age story, right? I mean, you can hear it in that summary, but it's a lot like movies that we kind of love, the kind of, I guess it's not really surrounding one night necessarily.
It's so adjacent though.
It's
right?
so adjacent. Yeah. So it's very similar, you know, to like Superbad or to like Take Me Home Tonight or like Dazed and Confused or something like that. Empire Records, where it's like just these really pivotal moments that lead to, you know, a lot of growth and a lot of understanding, right? Yeah. I thought this was a really fun movie. It was really well done. I thought it's so funny because Malcolm, so he's the main character played by Shameik Moore, and he has these 2 friends, and the trio of them are like obsessed with 90s culture. Yeah. And specifically like 90s like hip hop and R&B and you know, Black American culture. And so they're all like dressed in 90s. He's got like the big, like, I don't know what it was called.
I don't know either, but it's
the like high top kind of hair. And they're all dressed in like the clothes and all of that stuff. And they're always, the soundtrack is therefore very good.
It's incredible.
Because it's a lot of 90s. And it's fun. And so for a lot of the film, you keep forgetting like, oh, it's not set in the 90s. They just really love the 90s.
That was the hard thing for me too, because I could have to remind myself, because they would talk about like, you know, cell phones and
Justin Bieber. Like they mentioned Justin Bieber at one point, and you're like, wait, that's not the 90s.
Like Bitcoin ends up getting mentioned at one point.
Yeah, and you're like, wait a second.
What?
Yeah, so that was kind of funny. So it is very much a modern film, but they just are obsessed with the 90s. And I think that's a really cute character trait for like a group of friends to like be so obsessed with the music and the culture,
which would have ostensibly been like their parents, you know, which is just fun.
Yeah, it was really sweet. And like the summary says, he like you know, goes to this party and he somehow gets mixed up in this like drug trade thing, essentially.
Yeah, it's the classic setups, like bags get swapped, phones get messed up.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
It is really cute. Yeah. There's my favorite part of the movie, because right after the day after the party, he's going to school. And he didn't realize that one of the drug people like put a gun in his backpack because there was like a shootout at this party or whatever. And you know, they go to a big school in LA, so there are metal detectors. And so he goes to the metal detector and it sets it off. And the security guard's like, what? And he has him go through again and he sets it off. And then he's like, okay, just go. And then he pushes everybody back and he's like, something's wrong with the metal detector.
This is malfunctioning.
It's malfunctioning. We've got to reset it and restart it. You know, like, because he's like, of course it wouldn't go off on Malcolm. Like, Malcolm's this nerdy kid. Like, the metal detector is broken, not something in Malcolm's backpack.
Right.
It was so funny.
In no universe will Malcolm ever.
It was so well done. It's like such a little moment. And then Malcolm goes to his locker and he's opening his backpack and he sees
a gun.
He's a gun and he like bolts. But it was so funny that the security guard's like, no, like, it's the metal detector.
That's the bag with the gun and the drugs, right?
Yeah.
It's got everything.
But the security guard's like, no way is it Malcolm. No. That was so funny. That was my favorite part.
But it perfectly sets it up too, because there's an earlier interaction with that same security guard where he essentially calls them a bunch of dorks, and it's just incredible.
Yeah. It was really fun. And then it ends with like this really beautiful, like the summary says, Malcolm is applying to college and scholarships and the SAT and all this stuff, and it ends with him rewriting his college entrance essay, and it's the actor, you know, playing Malcolm, giving this speech at different points in LA, and it's like this really beautiful kind of speech about like, you know, I'm this amazing person, but I'm also black. Like, would you be asking these things if I had been white? Or like, would you be looking into me as much or questioning why I want to go to Harvard as much if I was white or something like that? And it was really well done.
Yeah.
I liked this movie.
Me too.
I was surprised.
Really yeah.
It was really cute. I'm surprised we missed it, you know? It probably didn't come to our theaters.
I can't even tell you why we would have missed it, honestly, because I feel like we would have seen it.
Yeah, for sure.
But,
all right, summer rating?
I'd say probably, I would, in hindsight, I guess, call this maybe an underappreciated movie, or something that wouldn't have gotten a lot of buzz. So maybe a 2.5, 3.
Yeah, I gave it a 3. I agree. I think if people knew what it was, you know, and I think some of those familiar names might have pulled in some people. But they hadn't attached themselves to any of those projects.
True.
Yet.
So this was them.
I think ASAP Rocky though might have pulled in some people. I don't know.
Right,
it's hard.
Right.
It's hard too because it's a festival film. Like, it's hard to know like where that would have landed. And then movie rating, I gave it a 3.5. I really liked it.
I initially gave it a 3, but like talking about it again, I'm gonna bump it up to a 4 because I really did enjoy it.
I did too. Yeah. I think there were some parts where it was like a little long, or like there was some nudity that I didn't feel was 100% necessary.
A lot of nudity.
That felt like a little, unnecessary. But it was a good film overall.
Yeah.
I liked it.
No, I liked it a lot.
Okay. That's going to be one of our highlights for sure, I think, of this week is dope. Next we have The Face of an Angel. So this is another festival film. This is from the Toronto Festival in the previous September, so September 2014.
You're letting us down, Canada.
I know.
Alright, so yeah. It's streaming on Prime. This stars Daniel Bruhl, Kate Beckinsale, Cara Delevingne, and Ava Akers. Again, a decent cast.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd think that it would draw people. Anyway, go for the summary.
So, the summary is very short. Both a journalist and a documentary filmmaker chase the story of a murder and its prime suspect. So it doesn't give it away that this is dealing with the, what's her name? The very famous case in Italy. And now I can't, is it Amanda Knox? No.
I think so.
I can't remember the case, but it deals with a very famous case of like a student studying abroad, like killing the roommate kind of thing. I was immediately confused by this film and the structure of the film.
Yes, it is Amanda Knox.
Amanda Knox, thank you. I was immediately confused by the structure of this film because at the very beginning there's this conversation between the journalist and the documentary filmmaker of like the journalist telling the documentary filmmaker, make it a work of fiction because then you can like tell the truth in a work of fiction. Nobody lets you tell the truth in a documentary. And I was like, is this supposed to be like a meta thing then? Is this why this is not a documentary and why it's a fiction film? Because they're thinking that they're going to be groundbreaking and telling us the true story. I don't know. And then immediately I was like, what is happening? It was like your little Toy Story 4. Little existential crisis. No, that's how I felt.
It was just such an odd film.
Yeah.
And every time, I don't know, it sucked you right out of it. We just kind of kept staring at each other being like, okay, so what is happening?
So yeah, I mean, overall, it was pretty boring. I don't know what else to say about Face of an Angel.
It was just wildly boring.
It was such a slog. Yeah, very confusing, and I did not understand why they chose to do it this way. It was just a lot of people in rooms talking about nothing, it felt like. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a slog.
I don't know. It was just such a weird film. I don't know. Like I said, Canada, you let us down.
Alright, summary rating.
This would have flatlined half a star. I don't see like watching as much movies as we do and things like that. I don't know who this is for.
Nobody.
This isn't for the documentary crew because it's not a documentary.
Yeah.
This isn't for the true crime because
it's so boring.
It barely touches on the crime.
Yeah.
And from a narrative perspective, there's nothing there either. So I don't know who this is for.
Yeah, nobody. Okay, movie rating. I give it a half because that's as low as you can do really on Letterboxd.
Same, yeah.
It was pretty boring.
It was very boring.
I did not understand why it existed.
I don't know.
I just don't get it. Next movie is Infinitely Polar Bear.
Yeah, so this was a Sundance film as well. However,
from the previous year. So it took a minute for this one to hit distribution for some reason. Even though it stars Mark Ruffalo and Zoe Saldana and somebody named Imogene. Those are the two girls.
Imogene Wolodarski.
Darsky.
And Ashley
Ofterhide. Yeah, those are the two daughters.
Sorry, her phone's way over there and my eyesight's terrible. Yeah, so this is currently streaming on Hulu and Disney Plus, which is basically the same thing at this point.
Yes, I know. I wrote them both though, just in case, you know. Maybe only have one.
Movie rumors is that Disney wants to completely just get rid of Hulu when they own more of it and just roll everything into Disney Plus. So Hulu might be going away.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Okay, here is your summary. So a manic depressive mess of a father tries to win back his wife by attempting to take full responsibility of their two young spirited daughters who don't make the overwhelming task any easier.
So this is based off of the remembrances of the actual director of the film, right?
Yeah, so the writer and director of this film is one of the daughters, and this is the story of her father and her childhood with her father.
Yeah.
So basically it tells the story of, it's Mark Ruffalo, he plays the dad, Zoe Saldana is the mom. He is, I feel like not just manic depressive, he's bipolar or something,
There's
right?
a lot going on.
Yeah, he has a lot of mental health concerns. It's like the 70s, so you know, it's a hard time to get proper treatment for those kinds of things or proper understanding of those types of things.
Yeah.
So the movie starts with him having kind of an episode or a breakdown. And Zoe Saldana is trying to leave him essentially with her daughters, trying to get out. And he prevents them from being able to do so. He basically disables the car while they're in it and is kind of ranting and raving outside of the car in his underwear, no less. And so he gets hospitalized and medicated and is kind of starting to do treatment and take care of himself. And then he's in like a halfway house. And it also kind of deals with the struggles of their marriage.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to be married to somebody who's dealing with those concerns while you're also trying to take care of the children, and they have money concerns because obviously he's not able to work in that condition or in that state. And she decides that she wants to go back to school, I believe, to become a lawyer or something, right?
I think she's going to go for her MBA.
Something that, oh, there you go. Yeah, her business degree. And so she wants to go to school, but she can't do that while taking care of the kids.
Because he can't be relied upon to actually take care of the children either, right? Because he's either not there or mentally ill.
Yeah, but weirdly enough, she does go to school. She like leaves the area to go to school. And she does leave the kids with their father. And so it's kind of like these couple of years, the movie basically covers those couple of years where she's at school getting her degree and he's taking care of the children. And it kind of, you know, like a lot of mental illnesses, you know, there's like an ebb and flow to whether or not he's taking care of himself, whether or not he's taking his medicine and things like that. And so there's a lot of ebbs and flows in the film as well.
Yeah, I teach a lot when I train people on like the history of this subject, right? I talk a lot about how difficult it was back during those times to treat folks who had mental illness, or intellectual disability, or whatever. The medications weren't really there. You know, the medications they had were incredibly rough on the body.
It's lithium,
and it's part of
if you know anything, right?
Part of the narrative of this film is a decent. It's a weirdly decent discussion on the effects of lithium on the human body. Yeah, and
the dad talks about it a few times.
Yeah, and I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't just a narrative like, oh well, if you took your meds, you'd be better, sort of thing, because so many movies veer into that territory. And it was, I think, a very realistic picture. Mark Ruffalo did an amazing job.
He did. He's such a talented actor. I love Mark Ruffalo.
He's amazing. And the little girls that were playing off of him, incredible. Like they did a great job. I liked this movie. It was a tough watch, but I liked it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah. To me, the hardest parts were, because it was also the 70s, there was a lot of like other people looking at this family situation and being like celebratory of the fact that Mark Ruffalo, that the dad could stay home and be with the kids, and that they were, you know, breaking the societal norms, and he was being such a good dad by taking care of the kids, and she was being kind of a bad mom by like being selfish and going to college and stuff like that. Like, that kind of sub-narrative was hard and probably very accurate, you know, for the time, but it was still hard and uncomfortable to watch, because you're like, wait a second, I don't think Parent of the Year award goes to the dad here. I think the mom is doing quite a bit here for her daughters, and it's just like unfortunate that that's the narrative. You know, there's so many times where Mark Ruffalo is getting congratulated by women for being such a good dad, and I'm like, he's kind of doing the bare minimum right here, and he's very ill and probably not giving them a great home life right now.
No, and like because the the juxtaposition of that is like he's walking around the hallway of this apartment getting high fives from everybody.
Yeah.
But the apartment is dirty and the kids don't have food and he's out drinking all night because
he leaves them home alone.
Instead of taking the medication because lithium destroys your body, he just drinks.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a really funny scene where he's on the phone to Zoe Saldana while she's at school, and he's saying like I'm not taking my medicine, like I found something that really works for me. I just take little sips of beer every couple of minutes and I'm good. And
which means he's just drunk all day.
Yeah, like,
right?
that's not the greatest environment to raise a family. Not that him on lithium is the right answer either.
Because he wouldn't have been functional. Like, the movie actually shows him on lithium at one point.
When he's in like the hospital.
He's just not functional. Because that's all it was. It was a tranquilizer.
Yeah. So it's a hard topic, kind of across the board. But it wasn't a decent movie. And like we said, Mark Ruffalo and Zoe Saldana both did a pretty good job.
Really? So I have a long-standing
not a big fan
beef with Zoe Saldana for no real reason.
No. You just don't vibe. Some people just don't vibe, and that's okay.
Yeah, I think that last movie she did that she won her Oscar for kind of showed the world who she was. Not really a great person in my opinion, but she was like really subdued in this film, and she honestly did a great job. So, yeah, everyone here did great.
So summer rating, I give it a 1. Again, these festival films are so hard to rate as a summer rating.
That's the thing. Like this, when we look at these of like from a broad appeal perspective, this was a movie made for festival people. Yeah, and those types of movie people that's not even us. Yeah. Right? So yeah, I'd say the same. I'd give it a 1.
Movie rating?
3. So I actually I'm realizing that I didn't rate this on Letterboxd, but I'd say I'd give it a 3. It was decent.
I gave it a 3 as well, and I did rate it on Letterboxd because I'm good like that.
I'll have to go back and correct that.
But it was a good film.
Yeah.
Good middle of the road film.
Always good to see Mark Ruffalo firing off on all cylinders.
Totally.
He rarely phones it in.
Yeah. Okay, next, probably the big blockbuster of this weekend is Inside Out.
Yes. I forget how old this movie actually is.
That it's from 2015.
Yeah, right? So it's on Disney Plus, where it should be. Starring Amy Poehler, Phyllis Smith, Bill Hader, Louis Black, Mindy Kaling, and a ton of other people.
Yeah, I just put the top.
Disney went nuts with the casting of this film, and it showed. Like they did a great job.
Yeah. So this is a Disney Pixar film. So yeah, those are all the kind of main voice actors. So here's your summary if you've never seen Inside Out, which would be interesting. I'd like to meet somebody who's never seen Inside Out before. When 11-year-old Riley moves to a new city, her emotions team up to help her through the transition. Joy, fear, anger, disgust, and sadness work together. But when joy and sadness get lost, they must journey through unfamiliar places to get back home.
So, this movie it's one of those ones that's about, growth and change as we get older.
Like most Disney and Pixar movies.
Yeah, I think they do a great job. I think Pixar... I'm becoming less and less enthused with Pixar as I get older, just because I feel like they're kind of falling back into just like kind of emotional trickery, just to get people to like cry at their movies. But this, honestly, there's a lot of happy moments in this film and a lot of really fun moments, and I think they did a good job. Yeah.
I like Inside Out. I like the Disney Pixar of past. We're very much millennials. We are very much Toy Story, Bugs Life kind of people.
Bugs Life is great.
Yeah, but I think Inside Out is great. I love that. A lot of films feel like they're moving away from color, but thank God animation is still using color. And this movie is very colorful. It's very sweet. I think it's the stereotypical movie you can watch with your kids and have a conversation about life and growing up and loss and feelings and stuff like that. I also think, I also think, you know, it's a cute way to talk about, like, that sadness isn't bad, that, like, these feelings are not bad. Like, it's not bad to be angry or sad or anxious or scared or disgusted or happy. Like, those are all good. And we need all of them to, like, be people and to live our lives. And I think that's kind of a sweet message, you know, because ultimately Joy has to learn that sadness isn't wrong, that there's a place for sadness in Riley's life, you know, that it's okay to be sad sometimes, especially when you go through such big changes like the little girl is going through, you know, moving, new school, new, like, life situation, new city, like, all of that stuff. Those are big changes, and it's okay to feel big feelings with them.
Right, and there is such a thing as toxic positivity and like all of those
and
things.
that's definitely what Joy is trying to force.
Because Joy was trying to control it, where, like, she has to be the main emotion, right? Yeah.
There's room for everybody on the nice list. It's a cute movie, very classic Disney Pixar movie. We've never seen the second one, so we can't speak to that, but this was a good movie.
Yeah.
I like it. Very classic. Very classic.
I feel like this was kind of around the pivot point of Pixar for me. And, like, pretty much everything after this was kind of downhill, but...
Well, we didn't watch a lot of the ones that came after this.
Right. Well, and COVID was so rough with Pixar, too, because they threw a bunch of movies into Disney Plus, and then they... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
we haven't seen a lot of the more recent entries. And really probably since around 2015. I mean, except for Toy Story, we haven't seen a lot of the Pixar movies.
Yeah.
So it just is what it is. I mean, you know, we're grown-ups without kids. We don't see a lot of them.
Although it was funny, the last movie we saw prior to COVID hitting was that Pixar.
Oh, was Onward?
Onward, yeah. That was the last movie we saw in theaters pre-COVID. And it was, what, 2.5 weeks before the lockdowns?
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
Might have been the
right
weekend before.
It.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So summer rating, this is obviously the blockbuster of the week. It's a Disney film. It's a Pixar film. It's a 5.
It made $1 billion in a month. you know, it's Disney. This was Disney firing on all cylinders.
Movie rating?
I give it a 3.
I give it a 3.5. There's a lot of really sweet moments in it. And I like it. I think it's a solid film. Like, I wouldn't turn it off if it was on. Like, if I'm a teacher and if the kids wanted to watch it, like, I wouldn't be against watching it. It's one of those that I enjoy.
They did a good job.
The kids do really like this one still. Cars is also super popular.
Just a classic. Still. It's so good.
Yeah, we watch those a lot, for sure. We watch those a lot. But they're good. Classic for a reason. Next, it's kind of downhill from here. We have 2 movies left. So next is Manglehorn, another festival film, but this is the Venice Film Festival from August of 2014, which is interesting.
So this is a $3.99 rental on Amazon, or you can subscribe to, apparently Sundance has its own streaming service called Sundance Now. Yeah,
it's an add-on in Amazon. I don't know if they have their own separate app too, but it was an add-on. So I did the 7-day free trial of it so that we could watch it for free.
It's absolutely bonkers. And so while we're filming all of these, we're building our own physical media library up, and we're making our own in-home streaming and all of that stuff.
Yeah, we're trying to move away from streaming.
This is exactly the reason. What the hell is Sundance Now?
Yeah, it's too many.
God. Anyway, starring Al Pacino, Holly Hunter, Chris Messina, and Harmony Korine. Al Pacino, that's a big get.
It's Al Pacino. He goes into the shower, and then I'm his butt. It's a quote from Friends. It's an Al Pacino movie.
What's the story with Manglehorn?
Okay. So the guy's name is Manglehorn. That's who Al Pacino plays. AJ Manglehorn.
That's a Christmas elf.
That is a Christmas elf.
AJ Manglehorn.
It'd be Jinglehorn or something like that, you know. AJ Manglehorn is an aging, ordinary guy in a small town. He nurses his sick cat. We will come back to that. Squeezes out a conversation with a local bank teller every Friday and eats at the same place every day. But there is more to Manglehorn than meets the eye. He's an ex-con who, 40 years ago, gave up the woman of his dream for a big job. They put it in quotes. After a dramatic effort to start over, Manglehorn faces a terrifying moment and is unmasked as a guy with a very, very dark past.
I feel like that is sort of overselling the film.
Agreed. That makes it sound like you're in for like a really cool, gritty movie with Al Pacino, like having to fight his demons from the past and like save some woman or something like that. And it very much isn't that. It's very much Al Pacino sitting down, writing a letter. It's Al Pacino as the locksmith. It's Al Pacino
berating a woman whose child is locked in her car for how dirty the exterior of her car is. I thought halfway through this film it was going to turn into Heat or something.
And it didn't.
And it definitely did not.
It's Al Pacino petting a cat.
Which I'd watch. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I would watch a film based around that, but this is not that film.
It's Al Pacino sitting at a slot machine. It's Al Pacino talking to a woman at the bank.
About
and then the movie ends. It was slow and it was boring. And it was dark. Like the coloring of it was dark.
I'm just trying to grapple. Like, I wouldn't call myself like a film dude.
No, I wouldn't like you if you were.
But that's true. I wouldn't like me if I was like that. But like I'm really kind of taken aback at this world that we live in where Pacino isn't in good films.
Yeah.
It makes me sad.
I think
this movie made me sad.
Yeah, agreed. It was just really slow and boring. And, you know, speaking of this sick cat, there's like a cat surgery scene.
There's like a whole scene.
Like, that's not needed.
Cat swallows a key.
And we don't need that of watching his little naked belly get stitched up. That was inappropriate.
Like, what the hell?
Summer rating?
I mean half, because that's just the lowest we can go. I don't know who this movie is for. This probably isn't even for film festival people.
No. I gave it a 2 just because of Al Pacino. And I do wonder if, because I feel like Al Pacino obviously would be a big draw for a certain crowd. And I do also think that summary is very misleading. So if you saw Manglehorn Showtimes at your theater and you went, oh, what's that? That's a weird name. Oh, Al Pacino's in it. Interesting. And you looked it up and you read that summary, you'd be like, that sounds kind of good. It's Al Pacino. Why not?
I guess.
Like, to me, I could see that series of events happening where you're like, I'll go check it out. And then you're like, why am I watching a cat's belly get stitched up? Like, that's not what I signed up for.
Well, then it's like, it's the same situation where we're in with like Love the Millers.
Yeah, any of those. The Coopers.
The Coopers, yeah.
You're thinking of We're the Millers and Love the Coopers, and you combine them.
Love the Coopers absolutely tricked us.
Definitely different films.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll bump it up to a 1 because you're right. The Pacino factor, like in 2015, would have been a draw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Movie rating?
I give it a 1 just for the cat because Fanny was cute.
Fanny was cute, very floofy. Cat. And obviously the actor cat was not sick. He had to play sick, but he was really cute.
Fanny's fine.
Yeah. The cat does live. We will say that.
But the movie's just, I don't know. There's nothing else there.
No. I give it a half star. I didn't like the cat surgery part, and it was just really slow and boring besides that.
Yeah.
So I gave it a half star. Okay, last but not least is The Overnight.
So this is on Pluto TV and Roku TV.
And any of those free ones.
Yeah, so I mean, free, a lot of free with ads places. This stars Adam Scott, Taylor Schilling, Jason Schwartzman, Judith Godrich?
I don't know. So here's their summary. Alex, Emily, and their son RJ are new to LA. A chance meeting at the park introduces them to the mysterious Kurt, Charlotte, and Max. A family play date becomes increasingly interesting as the night goes on.
That's the wrong word to use.
Play date?
Interesting.
Well, interesting.
Because it's not interesting. It's
very predictable.
Yeah.
You know when... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, it's obvious what's happening.
There's some swinging.
Everybody's phoning it in, including Adam Scott. I don't know, Jason Schwartzman's there with his dumb little hats and weird beard, and I don't know.
Yeah, his week ended on a low, for sure.
Schwartzman's another one of those actors where I can't really pinpoint why I don't like him.
I don't like him either.
I just don't like his face.
Yeah. I'm not a fan either. In my eyes, so there's a movie coming out, I think this summer, or maybe this fall.
It's called The Invitation.
The Invitation, that has Seth Rogen and what's her name? The one who was dating Harry Styles during Don't Worry Darling. She directed that film.
Oh,
Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde, yeah.
It's that movie, and obviously we haven't seen that movie, but the previews feel like it's giving off very similar vibes to what this movie did. So to me, it's just like the same kind of thing where it's like, surprise, they're swingers and want to hook up. And that's not very interesting to us. I think the film is trying to be a commentary on how hard it is to make friends and make connections as an adult. Because that's very true. Like, it can be kind of hard to make friends. Yeah. And I think, you know, the film begins with Adam Scott and Taylor Schilling, like, talking about, like, you know, we need to go meet people, and like the park is a good place to meet people, or the birthday party, or whatever.
There's actually a really funny part of that conversation where Adam Scott's like, what do I do? Like, do I just walk up to another adult and say, hi, I'm a 40-year-old man, do you want to be friends?
Yeah. And I think that's the basis for the whole film of like, how do you make friends and how do you make connections? And then they're trying to do a spin on it and make it like, oh, but what if the people you make connections with want to sleep with you?
But
and it's like, that's not really a spin. It's not interesting.
What's weird to me though is that I don't know, the thesis kind of falls apart, and then it turns into this, in my opinion anyway, it turns into way more of a story about how difficult it is for adults to do what they want when they have children.
Yeah, I think that is part of it too.
And like, yeah, that's tough, right? Because you have to sacrifice when you have kids and all that stuff. But it just kind of switches up the narrative a little bit, like partway through, and I don't know. It's a very, very strange movie.
Yeah, it just wasn't for us. There wasn't enough comedy in it to be a comedy. There wasn't enough like thought-provocation kind of things to make it like one of those kinds of films. Like, I think it was trying to step the line between those two. You know what it also reminded me of is Game Night. That movie with Rachel McAdams and what's his name?
The other guy that we're not huge fans of. He was in Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the guy, but not us.
He's really good friends with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman. Yeah.
It also kind of gives me vibes of that, where there's like, cause we went into that film thinking like, oh, what a fun romp. You know, it's a comedy about a couple who like to play games, and then they get caught up in this like weird thing that's happening, like a crime or something like that.
But
and then
fuck that movie.
And then it ends up being like infertility and all this shit, and you're like, what? That's not what I signed up for.
I'm gonna spoil the end of this fucking movie too, where Jason Bateman, they don't even imply, they outright tell you that the reason that they could not have children was because Jason Bateman didn't want them, and for some reason his mental block was making it so he didn't biologically function.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he's just like, after all their stuff's over, he looks at her and he's like, I want to be a dad. And then they just immaculate fucking conception.
Essentially.
Everybody, all of you film bros out there, love that fucking movie. I understand Jesse Plemons does an amazing job. Rachel McAdams is great.
I love Rachel McAdams.
The guy that plays Dexter, I'm forgetting his name, he's the bad guy in that movie. He's fucking awesome. I get it. Fuck that movie. Like, absolutely not. No, that movie is garbage. I love you, Jesse Plemons, but that movie is garbage. Anyway.
So similar vibes
Yeah.
in my mind. Very similar, like, connections of movies. Summer reading?
I
give it a
maybe
1.
A 2. Because I think, you know, what's his face? Adam Scott would have been just coming off of the Parks and Rec run, or maybe just in the middle of it. He would have been decently popular. I think it would have drawn in some people. There's always an audience for Schwartzman for some reason. So, like, I think it would have drawn in some people.
Yeah. And then movie rating. I gave it a 0.5 star.
Same.
Because I did not like it.
Yeah.
Kind of a dud of a week.
It was long and not very good.
I'd say my favorite was Dope of this week.
Yeah, I would say the same. Yeah, Dope was really good. Like a surprise hit.
Yeah. Yeah, like Inside Out, we knew what we were getting into.
Right.
So, like, I feel like Disney doesn't really count.
Right.
Because we've seen all those Disney movies before.
Yeah, and funny enough, Inside Out was the only movie we'd actually seen from that list before. So, yeah.
Fun.
Dope was great.
Yeah. All right, thanks so much for watching. Next week, we will be talking about What Happened to Miss Simone. It's another documentary film. Big Game, Max, and Ted 2.
I'm actually really excited to talk about this week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, definitely stay tuned. We appreciate it if you've subscribed. These new film podcast episodes come out every Friday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that does not interrupt our travel content because we are also a travel channel. That's why we're called Travels and Tranquility. And those videos come out every Monday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So definitely stay tuned for our continuation of a summer at the movies. 2015 summer at the movies. I said it wrong. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.